Have you ever tried to open a website and been met with a big, bold, access denied message? It's frustrating, right? You start to wonder, why can't I see this? What are they trying to hide? We often jump to conclusions, thinking it's all about silencing dissent or controlling information. And sometimes it is. But the real story behind why governments block websites is much more complex and, frankly, more surprising than you might think. It's not always a shadowy figure in a dark room flipping a switch. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain and explore the multifaceted, sometimes even mundane, reasons why your access gets cut off. And trust me, some of these reasons will genuinely make you rethink everything you thought you knew about internet censorship. Let's start with the reason everyone thinks of first: political control and silencing dissent. This is the classic Orwellian image of censorship, and it's absolutely a reality in many parts of the world. Governments that want to maintain a tight grip on power often see a free and open internet as a direct threat. Social media platforms, news outlets that report critically, and forums where people can organize can become powerful tools for protest and social change. To prevent this, governments might block these sites entirely. They want to control the narrative, ensuring that the only information citizens receive is the state-sanctioned version. It's about preventing the spread of what they deem dangerous ideas that could challenge their authority or lead to public unrest. This is the most direct and often the most concerning form of website blocking, as it strikes at the very heart of free speech and democratic principles. But let's move beyond the purely political. A huge, and I mean huge, reason for website blocking is the protection of intellectual property. Think about it. The movie, music, and software industries are billion-dollar giants. When a website offers pirated movies for free, that's a direct hit to Hollywood's bottom line. When another site lets you download the latest chart-topping album without paying, musicians and record labels lose out. These industries have powerful lobbies, and they put immense pressure on governments to take action. So, authorities in many countries, including very democratic ones, actively block websites that facilitate copyright infringement. This isn't about controlling political thought. It's about economics. They're trying to protect jobs, businesses, and the creative economy. The next time you can't access a torrent site, it's likely not because the government fears a revolution, but because a movie studio's legal team is on the case. It's a global cat-and-mouse game between pirates and copyright holders, with governments acting as the referees. Now, for a reason that hits closer to home for everyone: national security. This is a big one, and it's often used as a powerful justification for all sorts of government actions, including website blocking. In the eyes of security agencies, the internet can be a breeding ground for serious threats. We're talking about websites used by terrorist organizations for recruitment, planning attacks, and spreading propaganda. We're also talking about platforms used for foreign cyber attacks on critical infrastructure like power grids or financial systems, or the spread of state-sponsored disinformation designed to destabilize a country. When a government identifies a website as a direct threat to the safety and security of its citizens, they will move quickly to block it. The challenge here is the lack of transparency. National security is often shrouded in secrecy, making it difficult for the public to know if a block is truly justified or if the term is being used too broadly to censor legitimate content. Let's shift gears to something we can all agree is important: protecting the vulnerable, especially children. The dark corners of the internet are filled with genuinely harmful and illegal content. I'm referring to materials depicting child abuse, human trafficking, and other forms of extreme exploitation. Every civilized society agrees that this content has no place anywhere, and governments work with internet service providers to block access to sites that host or distribute it. These block lists are often shared between countries and law enforcement agencies. This is probably the least controversial form of website blocking. It's not about ideas or politics. It's a moral and legal imperative to protect innocent lives. When a website is blocked for this reason, it's a public safety measure, plain and simple, and it's a crucial part of law enforcement's job in the digital age. Another major driver of website blocking is public morality and the preservation of cultural norms. This one varies wildly from country to country, because what is considered normal in one place might be taboo in another. For example, some governments block access to gambling websites to combat addiction and associated social problems. Others might block sites with adult content, citing moral or religious objections. In some cultures, content that is critical of religion or depicts certain social behaviors might be blocked to align with prevailing cultural values. This type of censorship is deeply tied to a nation's identity and social fabric. While someone from a liberal Western country might see blocking a poker website as an overreach, A government focused on social harmony might see it as a necessary step to protect its citizens from what it perceives as moral decay. It highlights the fundamental differences in how societies around the world view the role of the state in shaping public life. Have you ever wondered how a government can even do this? It's not as simple as one big red button. There are several technical methods they use. The most common is DNS blogging. Think of the domain name system, or DNS, as the internet's phone book. It translates a website name you can read, like YouTube.com, into a numerical IP address that computers understand. By ordering internet service providers to remove or alter an entry in that phone book, the government can make it impossible for your browser to find the website. Another method is IP address blocking, where they block all traffic going to the specific server hosting the site. This is like blocking the entire apartment building, instead of just one person's mailbox. More sophisticated governments use something called deep packet inspection, or deep. This allows them to look at the actual data you're sending and receiving. They can identify and block traffic to a specific site, even if you try to use clever workarounds. It is a constant technological arms race between those who want to block and those who want to access. So, you see, the reasons are incredibly diverse. A website block could be an act of political repression, an economic move to protect the movie studio, a national security operation, a public safety measure to protect children, or an attempt to uphold cultural values. The lines between these reasons can also get very blurry. A government might claim it is blocking a site for national security when its real motive is to silence a political opponent. A block initiated for copyright reasons could accidentally take down a host of other, perfectly legitimate websites that share the same server. This is what's known as overblocking. And it's a major problem. It can stifle free expression and deny access to valuable information, even when that wasn't the original intent. The lack of transparency and due process in many blocking systems is a huge concern for digital rights advocates worldwide. The next time you hit that access denied page, take a moment to think. What could be the real reason? Is it a straightforward case of copyright? Or is it something more? Understanding the full spectrum of motives behind website blocking is the first step toward having a more informed conversation about internet freedom, security, and the kind of digital world we want to live in. It's a complex issue with no easy answers, but it affects every single one of us who uses the internet. Thanks so much for sticking with me through that deep dive. If this got you thinking, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more content that goes beyond the headlines. And I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Have you ever been blocked from a website and wondered why? Let's talk about it. See you in the next video.